DP, Jake Paco over across the board, Big Sky. In the production room, Huskers win it 78-60 over Idaho State. I want to thank you folks that are joining us and tuning in, adding to the conversation. This is how we get down. 402-464-5685. If you want to text in, you know the Honda Lincoln hotline number. If you want to call in and give your 2 cents worth for what it was. So, good stuff along the way. Bach, whew. Exhale, right? Yeah. We finally get to exhale a little bit and can make this work. All right.
Yeah, back on the winning track. Big win. You didn't have to hold your breath toward the end. I think a lot of good things out of this. The post-game show, by the way, brought to you by Action Plumbing, Heating, Electric, and AC. So happy to have those guys involved. But yeah, 78-60 were the Huskers, and I think maybe the highlight of the night is 18 assists from a team that we've said has been struggling on offense, getting the ball to each other.
Yeah, 18 assists on 31 makes. Purposeful, and actually getting this thing done. And also the distribution of said assists, right? Because here are the numbers. Kobe Webster with 5 assists leading the way, 4 for Verge, 3 for Bryce McGowan's. I like the fact that Breidenbach had 2 assists, Wilcher had 2 assists, Mahan had 2 assists. This was a little bit different. And let's not bury the lead. Tonight's leading scorer, Derek Walker. Derek Walker with 14 points on 5 of 5 shooters, 4 of 5 from the 3, added 3 rebounds in 21 minutes. So
he was helping everybody get assists.
Right.
Like he was the main guy in addition to it.
Right. Like, up and down. So we saw some things, right? Let's go through the board. Walker 14, 11 from Alonzo Verge Jr., 11 for Keisei Tamanaga, 10 for CJ Wilcher, 9 for Wilhelm Breidenbach, 8 for Lat Mahan, 7 for Kobe Webster, 6 for Trey McGowan's. Look, man, that's some distribution, all guys contributing. It's a positive night. So which player jumped out the most from that? I mean, because everybody had to make a statement.
Yeah, it was kind of a team effort tonight. It's not anybody overwhelming. Bryce McGowan's an F29 tonight, so there's not somebody just kind of completely leading the way. I think from previous games, I think people will like what they saw from Alonzo Verge Jr. Still leading the team in attempts, but he's coming down. He's got 10 attempts there, and I think you want him to still be on the attack to a degree. 4 assists and just 1 turnover again tonight for him. But like you said, I think Derek Walker really played well, coming off a game where he didn't score. They made it a priority right away. The first 2 buckets, I think, were in the paint, fed to him. And then, from then on out, like I said, he was getting guys assists just because they were looking for him down low. And Nebraska's big men both kind of had a pretty good day down there doing that. Breidenbach as well, as we mentioned earlier, though he stepped out for the 3-point line a few times as well. But it seemed like, in Idaho State wasn't short by any means, but it seemed like Nebraska had an advantage down low with the big guys, at least offensively.
Yeah, I mean, they came in, their biggest player, a couple of guys 6'9", 6'8" along there. And look, they were physical enough. Still too many offensive boards, but I like the intent and the effort. 37 points off the Husker bench, 42 points in the paint, 25 points off turnovers, and 15 off turnovers. And I think for them to turn over this Idaho State 15 times, Nebraska even got 7 second chance points, which is added value. Here's a number that I love that was provided. The Huskers were 13 of 20 on layups. I'd like that to be like 18 of 20.
13 of 20 is still pretty solid, though.
It's solid, but well, there's no monster on. There's no monster on the floor.
Right? Yeah. Right? This Creighton definitely had the rim protector. Right. Idaho State did not.
Right. If there's no monster on the floor, the rule is not only don't get to the glass, get to the rim. And that will simplify a lot of this. So, right, the numbers rebounding, McGowan's led the way with 7. Both CJ Wilcher and Alonzo Verge Jr. with 4 rebounds, 3 from Walker, 3 from Webster. Can we talk again? Kobe Webster in with his 7 points, 5 assists in 28 minutes. I like the energy that he and Wilcher and Tamanaga and Breidenbach come on the floor with as the second group? Do you stay with the Keon Edwards in the starting lineup chemistry thing, or do you go with because I think there's some value in letting that second five play together. Like they know each other, they know where they want the ball, they know how to get it to them, they play well together.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, and sometimes you just don't want to mess with what's working well. And Kobe Webster, I think he had all 5 of those assists in the first half. So it was kind of a big half for him. He didn't have any points at that, and then kind of got the 7 points in the second half. So he had a very effective half doing different things. But like you said, that second group really does provide the spark. Wiltshire, again, coming off, his best game as a Husker. I know it's not that many, but including Xavier, I guess his best game in college, had another good one off the bench at 10. So it's kind of weird because Keon Edwards, I don't have the minutes in front of me, but didn't really play starters minutes. He was just kind of out there. But yeah, so it's just kind of a, how do you prefer to get going? How do you prefer, those guys prefer to be microwaves off the bench? It's interesting to see how that will move because I don't think, and not to be negative, it's a positive night, but I don't think Edwards necessarily took advantage of his starting role tonight. He only took one shot. He made it. It was early in the game, but just not a whole lot else in the stats column for him.
Yeah, I get why he was in the starting lineup. I also get why you want to keep that second group together, right? That's a group that plays well together. Here's some really bananas numbers. So I rarely pay attention to or dive into plus minus numbers in a college game. I try to stay away from them. But
why is that?
Well, because you're focusing on the college game is uniquely different. Plus minus can be affected by runs. It can be affected by a lot of other things that don't tell you an honest story. But in this particular case, I think it tells us exactly what we thought to be true. So when it verifies or confirms what you thought you saw, it's always helpful. There's a group, Tamanaga, Webster, Wiltshire, McGowan's, and Brian Bach. Brian Bach was plus minus, he was plus 20. Webster.
That's pretty good.
Webster, plus 24.
Oof.
Wiltshire, plus 24. McGowan's, plus 16. Tamanaga, plus 14. That's your second group. That's your second group putting up those numbers. And it's not even a slight, right? Because, again, I say you be careful, right? Verge was plus 3. Mine was plus 6. Walker was plus 13. Edwards was minus 5. Cronin and the bench players were all negative numbers because, points down the stretch. But I'd love to have that conversation with the coaches. What do you do when your second group has plus numbers at such a high volume? Like I am tremendously curious about that.
Yeah, that would be interesting to see how that goes along. Of course, they have the advantage of, being deep and being able to send these guys in there fresh where, Idaho State or most teams, you play 7 or 8 guys consistently. You might get gassed early on, or you're playing against guys once you sub them in early that have been playing for 4 or 5 minutes or whatever it is. So you have that advantage and good for Nebraska, good on them and good on that second unit of taking advantage of those opportunities and really letting their depth feel felt because I think there was I can't remember which game it was. I think it might have been the loss earlier in the season to Western Illinois where they didn't have too much bench production, and since then it's looked pretty darn good.
Yeah, so funny too. So you get these post game reports, and every now and then the communications guy will send out the wrong information.
Yeah. He's got to do it quick. It's a quick turnaround.
It's a quick turnaround, but I'm like, wait a minute, these numbers look weird.
Don't go there with those, baby.
No, we can't give those out. We cannot give those numbers out because those numbers are wrong. I think for me that when you're talking about that Nebraska led most of the time, right? And this is a pretty good number that they were over a point per possession. Not necessarily what they've been doing in the past. Still, the turnover percentage is still too high. They led 36, almost 37 minutes of the entire game. and it was tied for another minute of that. So it wasn't even that. 54% from the field, 31 of 57 for the Huskers, 8 of 23 for 35% from beyond the arc, and then 8 of 11 from the free throw line, 72.7%. We want, like I still say, above 50, above 40, above 80 is where you're playing Big Ten caliber successful basketball, no matter when you play it, no matter who you're playing against. Those are kind of the numbers you need to be at. What they did against them was again pretty interesting, because I thought this was good. These numbers are going to play out entirely different. Here are a few. Bach, this team shot 57% from the free throw line. Idaho State. They were 20 of 51 from the field, 12 of 37 from three, and they shot some long threes.
Oh yeah,
they shot some long threes. But this group, from the bench, they didn't do much. 12 points off the bench. Nebraska was plus points coming off the bench, plus 20-some points in the paint. Second chance points. Idaho State only had 8 second chance points off 10 offensive rebounds. That's a step forward. That is a step forward. So, Bach, I mean, do we have more rebounding answers tonight?
I think we do. Again, you wondered, is Keon Edwards in the lineup? That was part of the reason he didn't get a rebound. So I don't know if that helped as much. But altogether, here's something: 31 rebounds for Idaho State, 31 rebounds for Nebraska. When you don't lose the rebounding battle at Nebraska, that's a win. So even the tie goes to the runner here in Nebraska's situation. So you got to give them credit for going out there. And Idaho State, not a particularly great team in general, but you can only play who's in front of you, and they went out there and did the job. And most of these categories are lining up as wins. And like I said, in rebounding, if you tie, that's a win. Oh yeah, okay. So yeah, I think altogether, just a positive performance from Nebraska to kind of gain some. I guess it was kind of closer throughout the first half at times. They ended up having a 10-point lead, but it never really felt close in the second half.
Yeah. I was giving Bach the signal to give the station ID.
Yeah, I'm not very good at picking up signals.
Go ahead and give it. Let me reset my computer. My computer just went wonky on me. Hey, let's start to a quick break and then reset. How about that? We've got a full hour to go after that. I want to hear from Connor Happer and see how he's doing. I even want to bring Big Sky in because he's been a busy dude here. So I want to get his opinion from the student section, what he thinks of what's going on there. So let's start a break. More postgame show here on 93.7 Ticket.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Have you been to Barn Wood and Leather, that new furniture store in Lincoln? It's a whole new look. If you like country, you'll love Barn Wood and Leather. It's country with a kick. Rustic, yet contemporary, and crafted in America from historic reclaimed barnwood and the finest leather. Create your own one-of-a-kind look for a room or your whole home. Come see for yourself at Barn Wood and Leather, South 14th and Dahlberg. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 5.
Angry about a recent Nebraska football loss? Go throw axes at Kraft Axe Throwing. Optimistic about the upcoming Nebraska football game? Go sign up for free football tickets at Kraft Axe Throwing. Bring some friends, reserve a bay for an hour or more, release anger at the targets by hucking an axe at it, and walk away feeling better about yourselves and the football season, just in time to enter for a chance to win a free pair of tickets to the next home game as you walk out the door. Reserve your lane online at craftaxethrowing.com or call 402-802-9696. Kraft Axe Throwing at 18th and N in Lincoln.
Gray Diesel and Equipment Services is hiring and seeking motivated applicants. Gray offers a second-to-none benefit package that includes health, dental, vision, 401k, paid vacation, and paid holidays. They offer great pay and tuition reimbursement or a tool purchase program for qualified candidates. It's a fun, friendly team with lots of variety and work assignments, so there's something for everybody. View and apply for their job openings today at grayusa.com or visit them in person just off I-80 and North 56th Street. Come be a part of the the gray difference.
A new Planet Fitness location is coming soon. To celebrate, you can join before we open for just $1 down, $10 a month. We're squeaky clean and ready to welcome you with tons of equipment and plenty of space to spread out. So join the judgment-free zone today. We're ready when you are. Just $1 down, $10 a month. Offer ends soon. Join us today.
Planet Fitness Lincoln opening a third location soon, just east of 84th and Layton. Join now.
Planet Fitness locations are independently owned and operated. See club for details.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric has been serving Lincoln and Southeast Nebraska for over 50 years. They've been a trusted name to deliver honest, quality services you can count on. It's always important to know someone you can trust, whether it's for your home or your business. Action is well established and offers convenience and reliability, always committed to a job done right. Give them a call or visit their website at actionlincoln.com. Action, your proud sponsor of the Ticket Postgame Show.
This is the Husker After Party Postgame Show for basketball. Huskers with a 78-60 victory tonight over Idaho State. Nice team effort, spread out the points, spread out a lot of different things, but it was kind of interesting. As DP, I bring you in, you mentioned earlier kind of who stuck out to me. Was there anybody whose play particularly stuck out to you tonight?
K-Say!
There it is.
K-Say!
Fan favorite.
Look, he bounced the three, and then his next move down, he got kind of pushed off balance and threw a one-handed, left-handed teardrop.
Nice.
Teardrop.
His first layup was a high level of degree of difficulty as well.
Look, that team loves him. That team loves him. So it was good to watch the three to go down. It was good to watch Breidenbach hit two threes. Breidenbach did a lot of the things that we kind of crossed our fingers and hope you would get from a big. Having a big in the Big Ten who could knock down threes will be helpful. So those are the two. And I want to shout out Bryce McGowan because when you go in and pick up 7 boards, that's purposeful. Like that was necessary. Didn't shoot a ton, but the fact that he did the thing that was needed for this team, rather than doing the thing that he would normally do. So it was good stuff.
Do you think what he had 6 shots tonight? That's down from the previous. He had 18 against Western Illinois, 13 against Sam Houston, and then 10 against Creighton, which we thought was small, but 6. Does that seem almost like not enough for Bryce? Or in this situation, you get a big win, it's kind of for everybody to kind of get together? Do you want him to be on the attack in these games?
Well, I mean, I thought it was way more important. Like what fans wanted to see was better distribution, to feel like it was less of 2-on-5 basketball. And what seemed to happen tonight was Bryce used his gravity and pulled some folks out of space to allow other people to get it going and get it working. And look, if Bryce is creating space, Derek Walker will have some space to do work in the paint. So, yeah, allow that to happen. And also the fact that he played with the second group a little bit, which is exceptional, because if he and K-Say and Kobe are on the floor together, and look, let's give the full shout out to Kobe Webster and C.J. Wilcher, who play well together, and that's important. Like those guys know how to play. Look, Kobe played traditional point guard in the first half, scoring point guard in the second half, high IQ, he gets it. So Fred can at least look at tonight and say, okay, there's some things, some lessons were learned against Creighton, and they were put into effect tonight. Now, they still got things to work on, but the fact that whether it's Idaho State or Joe Potato State, when you go and for this team to actually get on the boards, look, I would have liked to have seen plus in rebounds, but that's okay because you did the thing. And then it was really interesting to have Buzzy calling the game, because Buzzy can't help but give you insight and intel. Like he really wants to tell you that's not what you should do there. Like like, oh no, you missed an opportunity.
He knows the system.
Yeah, that's not the rotation there. That's not where they want to be. Hand down, I'll get that hand up. But it's all of that kind of insight is good, So Husker fans should know pretty quickly over the next couple of days what is expected of them on the floor, because Buzzy will tell you that's not what we coached, that's not what we worked on, and it's sometimes necessary.
Well, and I thought the one thing that kind of did stick in my mind throughout this game till I got in at the end was Eduardo Andre. Of course, he started the season with a coach's decision, did not play. Kind of wonder what goes on there. It's a long off season, lots of goings on, so maybe something happened there. But then this game, of course, he had a great game in the second outing. Not so great or anything really against Creighton, but just didn't play a whole lot tonight. Didn't get in until kind of all the real deep down the bench type of guys were. Do you think that was a decision based on rotation, or is it just maybe a matchup thing? We only needed to play two bigs tonight.
It's always purposeful. It's always intentional. That's Connor. It's always intentional. Playing time like this. You don't just put somebody at the end of the bench and forget.
Yeah.
Like there's a reason why coaches do what they do. So I would say intentional. He got in the game late. He was pretty frustrated. You can tell things weren't going the way that he wanted them to go, thought they were going to go. But you've got a streak of games. You will see Eduardo Andre on Sunday. You'll see him again on Tuesday. I think that'll be fine. So let's go to Honda Lincoln Hotline. I believe that is Curter. You want to bring him in? Hit the button.
I believe so. We're getting something else written on there. Oh, no. Oh,
yeah,
that is good.
See,
he's making jokes over here.
He did all
Big
of
Sky
that. He did all of that, Connor. He wrote 37 words on that board just to say it was Happer. First take, Hap. What'd you see tonight?
I think they were, a little better on offense. Now they didn't. They were a lot better on offense. I don't think they were met with much resistance. But that's okay. You wanted to see that thing go the right way, and it went the right way tonight. I think they had 18 assists on 31 made baskets. The ball was moving around a little bit. I think that's a little bit closer to what they wanted to look like. And now you fine-tune and you do it again on Sunday.
We were just talking about the lack of Eduardo Andre. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I wondered the same kind of with Kobe in the first half a little bit too, and really over the last couple games. And obviously, he had the huge run against Creighton in the first half on the other night. So I don't know. I think you're not at the point where like you're just gonna turn it over to the bench guys because they, you want to stick with the guys that kind of got you to that point for as long as you possibly can. I don't know. If you do that, it may signal some sort of change or panic or something like that. I think Andre gives him good energy. I don't know that he's like, he can give it to him for spurts. So that he's like a guy that I would say be screaming like, "Hey, we need this guy in the game right now because he helps you do something that you don't do."
Rebounding, but they rebounded all right.
Rebound. I mean, they were okay. They were okay all night on the boards, I thought. They did it as a collective. I think they were 31-31 on rebounds tonight. So they didn't get out rebounded. That's a team that, if they do one thing, they can rebound a little bit and they run people off the 3-point line. I thought Nebraska was better on both of those things tonight. I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't quite bother me maybe as much as some other people. I've heard that a lot over the last couple of days.
Yeah, I was telling Bach it's intentional. Like if Eduardo isn't getting minutes, there's a reason.
I don't know. I just I like the change of pace that he gives them when he's in there. But I don't think it needs to be all the time. Right? So maybe I'd like to see a little bit earlier, but I guess that's kind of where I'm at.
Connor Happer, from the numbers, a number that jumps out at me is that this Nebraska team scored 42 points in the paint tonight. That's kind of shocking.
Yeah, it was a clear. They wanted to get that thing moving around a little bit. It was a clear effort to get Walker involved. I think Fred talked about it a little bit just now after the game. So they definitely wanted to get him involved a little bit more, and they did so. And yeah, they're a better team when when they're getting touches down there and they can move things around a little bit. It's one thing when it's all coming from Verge kind of dribbling around and passing it out there, and that was certainly a better look tonight. But if you can move it organically and get paint touches and then swing it back around and have a guy like, Wilcher, who does, Wilcher's been their most consistent shooter, borderline the most consistent player over the first few games of the year here. So I think they got a definite shooter in him, and they think Tominaga is going to come around. It all works together to make it look like a little bit of more of a cohesive piece, and I thought they did that much better tonight.
Well, specifically, a big, complaint from the fan base so far has been Alonzo Verge Jr. And he came out and I think played more team ball tonight. Certainly still has that kind of scorer's mentality to him. How do you think he fit into the system? Did it work better tonight?
Yeah, you definitely watch him closely, and especially with the way the first couple games have gone here. So, I think he was definitely much better tonight. I thought he let it come to him a little bit more. Maybe the crowd got the best of him the other night, or kind of whatever went into that. Like you said, Bach, there's still some times where he just seemingly unnecessarily takes over or feels like he has to get a shot. He took beginning of the second half, he took a shot that Fred didn't like and pulled him and kind of turned the keys over to Kobe for a little bit. And I thought that picture looked pretty good. And then they had a few minutes where they were both on the floor, and they're going to have to do a little bit more of that with Trey out. So like we said, it's a work in progress still. Tonight was definitely a better picture. And you keep going from there. They need to get some, I think like they did tonight, they need to get some positive results off of the stuff that they've been working on. Otherwise, you just start reverting back to kind of who you are and who you've been. And for Verge, that's obviously an issue because they don't want him to be who he's been, at Arizona State. So, one game at a time. And that picture, I think that took a step in the right direction tonight.
Connor, it's like, I don't know if you're familiar with the old Saturday Night days where they would have Garrett Morrison do sports, and his lead was the top story tonight. He would scream it as loud as possible. The top story tonight that Alonzo Verge Jr. did not lead this team in assists. That honor went to Kobe Webster tonight.
Yeah, that's we're watching that one pretty close. I think now. I asked Fred about it, and he just, he said pretty simply after the game, he was like, "Look, the ball just seems to pop a little bit when he's in there, and not only is the energy that he gives them, he has a lot of fun when he's playing. That's obvious, and the teammates react to him in a really, really positive manner. Same thing with Tominaga, but Kobe can distribute it too. He had a nice go look there to Walker on a fast break, and I think that led to a dunk. And that's going to be close. Kobe has certainly earned himself some more minutes. It's now just how you kind of work with the two of them, because like I said, you're obviously going to need them both on the floor at the same time occasionally. They're both playmakers, and they both can make shots. I mean, maybe they did this look a little bit in the second half when the game was in control. They had Kobe run the show and then Verge play off a little bit. And that works too, although you're giving up a lot on defense when you do that. So there's options, which is good, and that's where these next three games are really important for you to kind of take your experiment, figure it out, while at the same time getting some wins, hopefully.
One thing that was kind of, I think, just odd tonight was Keon Edwards kind of got the surprise start. I don't know if he took enough advantage of that tonight. Do you think that they will continue with that moving forward?
I wondered about that. It was really weird. How many minutes did he end up playing? Like 8?
He played 15.
Like
15.
15? That's more than I thought. Then he must have came back in later. He wasn't out there much after that first or second media timeout, which I thought was kind of odd. It was a weird game from the perspective of kind of what they were throwing at him, and I do think they really want to get some things going on offense, and Edwards is always the guy who's going to be there. I think he wanted to maybe try him out a little bit for what he gives you energy-wise and defensively tonight, just with his length. And then the game was imbalanced a little bit in the first half, so maybe it was related to just game script. and kind of, what they wanted to do with that. I did think it was odd though that he started the game and then played. I don't know. He might have had the least amount of minutes of the regular guys that actually play somewhere around.
Well, he had 15. Latman had 18.
Yeah. So pretty low down there. I'm not sure. Right? That maybe that had to do with just game script, like I said. Couldn't find him a window there in the second half, but I don't know. I don't think it's anything to be alarmed about. That's for sure. They're still working things out. It's gonna be this trial period without Trey, obviously.
Yeah, it's going to be different. But I asked folks tonight, raise your hand if you had Derek Walker leading this team in scoring before the game.
Yeah, I didn't even honestly after the game I didn't even notice. I was like, oh, Walker had the most plays. That's yeah. So if he could be. Look, he's not going to give you these, highlight plays or anything like that. But he's a halfway decent finisher. He'll rebound or he'll attempt to rebound with everything he's got. He'll battle down there. He had to do it last year against the Big Ten's elite. Like that's been proven. I still say that he, with his skill set, with his body, kind of with what's given to him, he probably gets the most out of himself than anybody else on the team. I mean, maybe with the exception of Tominaga. So like that's and he's starting, so he's got a tough assignment every night. And for Nebraska, it's just about how those guys play around him, and if you're able to get him any looks in a 2-man game, because he's pretty smooth. I mean, he can move a little bit, and like I said, he's a pretty good finisher too. So he can still give you something, but he's never going to be like the focal point of the offense, and that's okay. That's he's a good player for them, solid player.
Connor, give us a breakdown. What happens tomorrow on 93.7 The Ticket for Huskers and Wisconsin?
Oh, tomorrow. Well, we start before that. We start at 8 o'clock with the high school football show, which we'll preview with Nick, which will preview the state championship games, which we'll be broadcasting on Monday and Tuesday from Memorial Stadium, the A and B championship games. And then we'll fire things back up at noon with you two. Tom Stevens really manning down the fort because I have a women's game tomorrow. And then we'll have the game. Whatever happens there. And and then we'll be on right after the game as usual, and we'll either be therapy or yell or who knows. We'll let the emotions play out as they play out. I don't know. I don't expect it to get very yelly tomorrow. It doesn't feel like a situation where you're going to be mad at anything, but I've been wrong on that.
Yeah, I don't think we will be mad about anything. I just think that there may be other people that are mad tomorrow. We will see. Hey, go rest up. Go rest the pipes. Represent the Husker ladies. Well done. Thank you, kind sir.
Yep. Thanks, guys. See you later.
Yeah, it's just, we think that he's going to look. It's do we think that folks are going to be yelling? I don't think that anybody in the studio will be yelling. Like,
no,
what would it take?
not.
What would that take? Like, what would have to happen for you to yell tomorrow?
I don't know. I mean, the lack of buildup for this game is very somewhat disheartening. But it's all just like it. I don't know. Like even a blowout, which Wisconsin, Nebraska blowouts have definitely made me yell before. But at this point, I don't. It just, I don't want to say this in a disrespectful way to the team or like that the athletic department's done on purpose, but they've kind of moved on toward next year. So these are just kind of 2 extra games. It clearly doesn't matter as far as whether the coaching staff's coming back or whatnot for the next season, but it does matter to fans. I believe. I think it does matter to some of these coaches, the players that are finishing out their careers. And they still want a big win. And you still have 2 chances in front of you, rivalry games, 2 trophy games, a chance to ruin Wisconsin's season to a degree. So there's still a lot on the line. But the emotion, as far as getting to a yelling point, I don't see it happening.
Look, man, let me tell you, if they are going through this thing, going through the motions, I'll yell.
Yeah, there you go. It looks like there's not too much effort out there.
If it looks like it doesn't matter. I had a listener today say that game tomorrow was meaningless. I'm like, not in football. Not in football, because you get your head taken off.
Oh, yeah.
Right? You get your head taken off.
Yeah.
And you play in a game where you can actually do work.
And there's a lot of players like that's not. I don't envision that happening because JoJo Doman is sitting out, of course, preparing. But there's a lot of other guys kind of in his camp that could have been doing that aren't. And they probably don't have as bad an injury as him. But regardless of injury, if you're throwing out the season, you're just not going to try. That's not the approach you're going to have. So I don't expect to see it. And the funniest thing of all of it is either win, if you get them, will be the biggest win by far in the Scott Frost era. So there's still plenty to play for basically everybody.
That's the whole point. That literally is the whole point. That this would be huge for you to give peace to yourself for the next 9 months.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And believe, not throw out the close stuff. You finally crossed the line.
Right. That the players that are returning, the players who are here, who haven't had one of those wins that make it all right. And you got 2 shots. And getting Wisconsin tomorrow matters. So in my head, I hope that, they stand up, straighten their back, and get to work. But
how about that? How about I've kind of been skeptical of the move and the timing that it was made. I understand college football, the way that they're operating now, but how good would it look for Drew Alvarez to give his vote of confidence and then they go out and win? And then, because you don't want to get too far out of yourself, as they say, win twice or whatever. But if you take care of business this weekend against Wisconsin, you can start to play the role of spoiler. It certainly doesn't scare you if you take care of Wisconsin.
Ooh-wee, bruh. We'll throw it to break. Current update from the Vandy Center. Lady Huskers 20, Penn State 11 first set. So things are looking good. Start. It's a good start. We'll throw it to break and come back more. Recap. Huskers win, and Huskers are winning. We'll be right back.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Nebraska Army National Guard. Aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association at this station.
Lincoln's mega liquidation store is here. Wholesale Logistics is now open on West O Street as a bin store with tons of liquidation pallets, appliances, mattresses, furniture, and more. Brand new mattresses 30 to 60% off retail with well-known brands. New furniture also 30 to 60% off retail value. Brand new LG scratch and dent appliances 35 to 40% off retail. Wholesale Logistics purchases truckloads of smaller items from major retailers and throws them into bins, with everything starting at just $8. Get to Wholesale Logistics, open each Friday to Tuesday from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. at 2811 West O Street.
The Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef is Lincoln's newest full-service butcher shop, offering premium fresh-cut steaks and house-made sausages daily from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. They exclusively carry certified Piedmontese beef raised right here in Nebraska. When shopping at the Mercado, you're not only supporting local, but also enjoying the official beef of Nebraska athletics. With prime-grade tenderness and unparalleled nutritionals, your backyard barbecue is about to get a serious upgrade. Stop into the Mercado today, located off 84th and Havelock in Lincoln.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric has been serving Lincoln and Southeast Nebraska for over 50 years. They've been a trusted name to deliver honest, quality services you can count on. It's always important to know someone you can trust, whether it's for your home or your business. Action is well established and offers convenience and reliability, always committed to a job done right. Give them a call or visit their website at actionlincoln.com. Action, your proud sponsor of the Ticket Postgame Show.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Welcome back to the Husker After Party Postgame Show. Basketball tonight. The men got a win 78-60 over Idaho State. Myself and DP in here. We just heard from Carter live from Pinnacle Bank Arena, and we might have Big Sky coming here in a minute, give us his thoughts from the game tonight, maybe just the season so far. But Nebraska getting a win, improving to 2-2, back to 500. Didn't lose the rebounds tonight. Had a nice team gain, 18 assists. Led tonight by Derek Walker. Lots of points in the paint. So overall, I think just a good performance. Didn't keep you, biting on your shirt or whatever nervous habit you have down the stretch. So they look good. I think the goal was accomplished tonight.
Yeah, I think you check boxes. You want to win the rebound battle, but being tied, it's a push. 18 assists compared to 8 turnovers. We like the 2-1, 2-1 plus, so we're good with that. Shot above 50% from the field. Shot 54%. Bravo. Still want to be, check the box at 40% would be wonderful from 3. They were 8 for 23. And then free throw. Like, I want them, if they make a free throw, it's a good night. You're above 80 and you're good. And there are going to be nights where they need to do that. 6 offensive rebounds. I still want them to bang and clang a little bit more than that. But, Eduardo Andres on the bench. You like what you got. 18 assists on 31 makes, which means that it was purposeful. The points in the paint. Look, you have 18 assists and got 42 points in the paint. There's not even math for that. There literally is not math for that.
Yeah, is that it?
Right. Like that's
they must
why
have got some rebounds tonight.
That's why that popped for me, right? That you got 42 points in the paint off 18 assists. Goodness gracious, sakes a lot.
And that's not what that's just not the recipe that we've seen from this team. So it's good to kind of get that going, get some confidence in that when your three ball isn't falling down, and we'll see. And I think maybe the one guy to be a little bit concerned of his 3 not falling down is K-State Tamanagi. Finally got one to go in. It's a rough start for him. I asked Gary Cohorn, the all-time leading 3-point shooter at Nebraska, if he was threatened by Tamanagi. He said, "Well, he hasn't. He's made 1 so far. So I guess there's no reason to be ashamed or scared yet. But we'll see if K-State gets it going."
I love what Buzzy Carruthers said because it's a coaching thing, and I said, "Man, I'm so thankful he's getting all those misses out of the way early."
Yeah,
because the numbers always bear out.
Usually do, yeah.
The percentages bear out. And so you just go, this thing Creighton going into the game shooting 18%. Yeah, they got rid of all the misses, and it came to Lincoln and hit everything and got caught up again. So when you look at Tamanaga's stroke, I don't have any doubt or question about it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he shoots it like I wish I could. Like, get rid of it and make it move. I just him attacking the basket will open up the 3. Like, those 3 times he really was purposeful in attacking the basket will make him get more space shooting the 3, and I thought it was good. So,
yeah, he can, and he seems to somewhat be hesitant to do that quite yet. Maybe just because he knows his calling calls the 3-pointer. But he did do it tonight, and he can. Teams have scouted him. They know what scares them about him. And so he can kind of get around him. He's an okay dribbler. He can find an open guy off that dribble and the pump fake or whatever. So I'm excited to see him start hitting him. Like you said, it'll eventually, I think he'll get going. But it is good to see him do more, to realize, okay, if that's not going, I can still add to this team. Of course, he's a spark plug on defense. It's kind of funny. I watched him get subbed out for Lat Mayen. He just go, wow, they're losing a lot of length there. But he brings something, else to this team. And I think their 3-point percentages will go significantly up once he gets going, obviously, because that's what he's out there for. If this isn't all just a made up media thing, he doesn't get that green light. He takes some shots that normally you might get mad at as a coach. This coaching staff has told him, you got the green light to shoot it when you can.
Well, they've seen him in practice every day hit those. So it's not like, okay, this is strange. I'm asking you to do something I've never seen you do. No, they're allowing that. But remember this about K-State. He's a 3-on-3 player. He's a 3-on-3 Olympian.
Oh, yeah. And
the playmaking that's required, the shot making that's required in 3-on-3 in that space is pump fake at the paint and then get up in there and get to either hand and make a play. that part is where he becomes problematic for defenses because you don't know where he is and he really has no fear. Remember, he was also the young dude playing against grown-ups.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have fear. He understands what it takes. He's played against taller players his whole life. He's been bounced around. He fully gets it. But the fact that he went through tonight and went to the single-hand finish, man, folks can't run. You can't run and close out anymore. That's a plus. Let's get these texts. Tim says still much to prove, but there's something to be said for a 20-point win, no matter the opponent. Keep improving. Bach, we agree with that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, you can only play who's in front of you. Nebraska had all these projections for all these wins that we were counting up. You got to go out there and earn them, and you had to earn them against Idaho State. Give them credit, like you said, they were jacking up a lot of threes. They hit a lot of them early, and we're keeping this game close for a while. And you're kind of thinking maybe this will be a close game, but Nebraska eventually put some space between them, and it's good. It's good to get that type of win. It kind of confirms that who you are. I mean, we all kind of figured that's who they are. They should know that that's who they are, but that's their biggest win. Of course, only beating Sam Houston State by 9. You double that up tonight. You got some chances to maybe improve upon that. We'll see. I mean, some of these other teams between Southern Tennessee State and South Dakota here in the next 8 days might give you a bit more of a test, but yeah, I mean, what you like to see, and maybe it's not great for talking points, but it's great for confidence and feeling good about this team is big wins separating. I mean, we always talk about trying to learn to win close games because that's important, but it's also really important to learn to, once you have a team down 9, to put the foot on the throat and extend that lead and bury them, and they did that tonight.
This was interesting too. So when these things happen where you can't get folks off the offensive boards, the concession that has to be made is runouts, right?
Yeah.
Sit tight, don't get in runouts. If you do that, you should at least be more competitive on the boards. And a number that jumps out is Nebraska had 4 fast break points tonight. You want to know how you get 31 rebounds and close the gap? Now, they're still going to have to do better than that, but you're giving up some of the runouts so that you can stay back and do work. Don't give up points. And I think that's a number that you can look at the rest of it. Like that one, look at them shooting 13 of 20 in layups. Factor that. Points to the paint is still mind-boggling.
Yeah.
And but Bach, 37 points in the paint. I mean, 37 points off the bench. Look, that second 5, man. Like there's something to be said on a night where Bryce McGowan takes 3 shots, Lott takes 7, Keon Everett takes 1, that you get 37 points off the bench.
Yeah, and like you said, that second unit plays so well that it makes maybe they'll keep them together. But it's just interesting. Again, with Edwards not necessarily taking advantage of his minutes here, it's not just that he just had 2 points. He didn't have a rebound, didn't have an assist, didn't have a steal, didn't have a block. Just was kind of out there. And he's a young player. He'll get lots better and could really, help that bench if he needs to. He's been playing the bench role before tonight. But it's going to be hard to deny C.J. Wilcher in my mind. I mean, the way that he's been playing, I think right now, eventually we've been talking about Tominaga. Right now, Wilcher is your best 3-point spark in threat. And like Happer said, he's pretty darn consistent. A lot of these numbers for different guys kind of up and down. He's not going to go out there and score 29. At least we don't know if we're going to see that yet. Bryce McGowan has been able to show that, but he's been consistent, and you can tell that confidence is really there for him. And he was kind of filling out the boards as far as stats tonight. Got the 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals. I would say I would look out for him to possibly start next game, and then maybe that's not going out on a limb because he was kind of the odds-on favorite once Trey McGowan's went out and they went with Edwards, but. I'm excited to see him grow as a player. Sometimes you get so stuck on the one, the 5-star guy. Everybody wants to watch him grow, but there's a lot of kind of younger guys getting their first action here as far as the Big Ten type of level at Nebraska, and they're going to grow too. And CJ, man, if this is the starting point, he's going to be pretty darn good.
I like the fact that CJ and Kobe and Casey and Biden, when they play together, they're connected. They play connected. They move in unison. They understand the strengths of the other people on the floor. Like tonight, they would run those 4, and then they would run Bryce with that 4. There was one stretch where you start to pay attention. You went, wait a minute. they're getting shots in space. They're actually, and then they're pump faking. They're getting to the rim. So there was some chemistry to what people were looking at offensively, where it looked more like, yes, they're doing their reads, but there was understanding that if I go here, here's where my teammate's going to be, and here's what he's going to do with it when he gets it, and that's important. That's why if they make the move, I'd be more. Let me throw this at you. I'd be less shocked if they put Trevor Lakes in the starting line instead of Keon and let Keon run with the 5. See, that's where
that'd be interesting.
That's one that I would think about. You could also go with second 5 with both Brian Bach and Eduardo Andre, and you just play right about 4.
It's not. There aren't too many bad options, are there?
Right,
that's the benefit of this
Well, you
depth.
play with the 4, and I think as you make the decision, you don't want to. I mean, 37 points off the bench.
Yeah.
So there's a method to it, and then there was production from it. And so for me, coaches will say this: I can have my opinion, but the numbers will tell me that, look, if I got 37 points off the bench, I'm not messing that up. Like, I'm not going to screw that up.
Yeah. And don't be toiling with that too much.
Right? Like, there's no point.
That's what Strick said when you asked him about Kobe Webster coming off his 20-point performances. I kind of like 20 points off the bench.
Right? And who's to say that you would get that if he's starting?
Yeah.
And with Kobe, we went through some of that last year. So we know. Look, whenever you get him on the floor, you know what you're getting. But coaches think in weird formulas. And it's like there's some sort of basketball calculus that says, this is the 5 I need on, and these puzzles need to fit. And if I take one of these out of play, I'm never going to find that fit again. 37 points off the bench tonight. And I don't care who that's against. 37 points off the bench is pretty miraculous.
And Breidenbach, as long as you bring him up, I mean, he continues to look like more of a weapon, kind of at the top of the key, even when the shot clock's winding down, because against a lot of these opponents, it might change it. Certain matchups might be able to keep up with him, but he's just kind of got that ability to get by you. And because you worry about his 3. I mean, he's got the ability to shoot, so you kind of got to stick up on him, but you're also worried about him getting by you because he can create. He had 2 assists tonight, or he can take it all the way to the rack. And he's a big body, so some of those guys down there worried about him coming crashing down. He's not overly athletic, but he's such a threat at that top of the key. I love him up there, and he's nowhere near afraid to shoot. And they're afraid that he's going to, get by him. So they're kind of giving him some space. So there's not, depending on the matchup, like I said, there might be some guys with more athleticism that'll be able to kind of close that out. But I noticed that tonight that was going to be a weapon in some matchups this season. Is just kind of him at the top of the key and like
Come here, big boy.
Yeah, and let him make a play.
Come here, big boy. Come get this 3. Come get it. Come get it. I'm going to shock you, though. Brian Bach's a pro.
I can see it.
Brian Bach's a pro.
He's a smart player. He's going to be fun to watch develop.
Brian Bach's a pro. Like that dude, that dude's going to go. Just because, again, there are a lot of boxes. And his psychological game, the fact that he's willing to play the mental game with people, he doesn't mind putting a body check on you, right?
Oh, no.
Just to go, okay, I'm here. I want you to remember that I'm here. I'm not just all finesse. I can bang with you a little bit. Even as he says, I'm still slight and booty. I can still make plays. the fact that he gets a body in, I like what was done there. And I think, as I think about it, yeah, I would not be surprised if Trevor Lake got more time while Trey is out, because he can add that to it. And again, you get a ton of rotation because Lat surprises you with all the little stuff that he does that helps this team. He helps Derek Walker. He's great in back picks. He's helping clearing for the shooters. He's always in the right space defensively. So as we talk about the depth of this team, let's not forget that this guy, right, that Lat Man, does a lot of the things that coaches love and that opposing teams do not like.
Yeah, and that length is going to bother you. But that's a good point because we should bring that up. The help defense, especially kind of on the baseline, was just phenomenal tonight. They're not naturally too big. So if a guy gets down there, he can kind of bully his way. Idaho State didn't necessarily have, some of the guys weren't talented enough to really take advantage of that. So, but there's going to be some problems for every team. But what you can't, take out of that is that they didn't hustle there. I mean, there were always 2 to 3 bodies there. And then when it was being rotated, Idaho State did a pretty good job rotating the ball from there. They were closing out on the open players. So I think the defense intensity and just the help defense tonight looked better. I mean, we get caught up in the offense and trying to move the ball and see how pretty it is. But that defense, that can be more consistent than offense if you teach it, because shots can go in or not. But as long as you're giving the effort on defense, that should stay consistent throughout the season.
If I want to turn a bad team or program around, I can do it defensively. Like if I want to elevate my squad, and I even if you're more talented than I am, defense is a way that you can elevate and change the direction of the team. So all of that's true. We'll throw it a break. Huskers volleyball wins the first set 25-14. They are down 10-8 in the second set at the Vandy Center. We'll be right back to close out the postgame show here at 93.7 The Ticket.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 330 North 48th Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
We take our college football Saturday so seriously at 93.7 The Ticket that one post-game show simply isn't enough. Join Derek Pearson and Jake Sorensen for the Ticket postgame. 90 minutes following each Nebraska game at Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. They'll break down the game from their vantage point with giveaways to listeners who drop by and hang out. It's the Tickets postgame with DP and Jake live from Tanner's Bar and Grill. Want a free pair of Nebraska football tickets? Head to theticketfm.com's contest tab and register for a free pair of tickets each week of a home game, courtesy of Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of Woods Brothers and 93.7 The Ticket.
Hi folks, Greg Sharp here, the voice of Husker football. If your home heating system is making strange noises or just doesn't work like it should, call your friends at Bryant Air Conditioning and Heating. Sign up for Bryant's exclusive ESP service protection plan. You'll get twice annual complete and thorough service on all brands, and you'll never pay overtime charges on any weekends or holidays. Schedule your heating check today and ask about Bryant's ESP plan to save money. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing, 467-1111. We do whatever it takes.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric has been serving Lincoln and Southeast Nebraska for over 50 years. They've been a trusted name to deliver honest, quality services you can count on. It's always important to know someone you can trust, whether it's for your home or your business. Action is well established and offers convenience and reliability, always committed to a job done right. Give them a call or visit their website at actionlincoln.com. Action, your proud sponsor of the Ticket Postgame Show.
At Farmers Insurance, we know that a bundle of joy can sound like many different things. To us, a bundle of joy sounds a little more like this. Because we know when you bundle your home and auto insurance with Farmers, you can save an average of 20%.
Really? My bundle of joy just makes a lot of drool.
Ah, the joys of parenthood. Visit farmers.com or call 1-800-FARMERS to get a quote today.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Reported 2018 nationwide average savings underwritten by Farmers for Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
Wrapping up things here on a Friday night. It is the Husker After Party post-game show. We're partying because Nebraska basketball got a win 78-60 over Idaho State. We'll keep you updated here as we go on throughout the show about Husker volleyball senior night, and they are in a battle with Penn State. But for now, DP and myself want to bring in Big Sky, who's been helping us on the production side tonight. We want to kind of get your thoughts, Big Sky, on tonight's 78-60 win over Idaho State. What kind of jumped out to you from tonight's game? Oh, first I should turn on your mic. That'd probably be nice.
That would be helpful. Tonight, it's just one thing I'm taking away from the basketball team and the volleyball team is because I didn't grow up paying attention to those teams being in Montana. It was basically just Husker football, and then and we're not a basketball family, so I had to make the Nebraska ball decision myself to pay attention, and I started that at 14, so I'm not as emotionally invested. Those two teams winning, it's just cake for me. I'm not disappointed when they lose, but I feel really good when they win. So getting a win and potentially 2 tonight, that's just cake for me.
Yeah, well, volleyball, top 15 team, always pushing in toward the top. So that would be some pretty good cake for you. More just on the football side then.
Yeah. So I think that's how a lot of students are. Is football is obviously the number one. There are a lot of people who are as emotionally invested in volleyball as they are in football, but basketball being good is just going to be icing on the cake. And then if they can keep it up, then we'll get that emotional investment, and then the city will go crazy for them, like they did in the 90s with Badge and Strick, Kailu, all those guys.
Do you watch the women? Have you paid much attention
to the women's basketball team?
Yeah,
I know when they win and they win when they lose, but I haven't been to any games.
Oh, Hampers there. You got to go watch Hamper.
We gotta fix that.
Well, I'm normally vacuuming at the station.
Oh yeah.
I'm pushing buttons. I'm vacuuming.
He's vacuumed during one women's game ever.
Once.
Ever.
That's not true. That's not true.
Ever. One women's game ever. So if
I've been to the Creighton women's game in 2000 pre-COVID season. Got the presidential suite.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Nice.
Every club at the journalism college was allowed to send a delegation to the suite, and I was the treasurer of the sports media club, and so I was like, heck yeah, I'll go to a game for the experience. Great nachos in there.
I do have to confess this thing. So there's some nights where I'll go to a game and I won't even sit in the seat. Like I'll just go sit in the open area and I'll see it from there, because two things I've figured out. One, the best popcorn in the entire world exists at Pinnacle Bank Arena. on the main not on the lower level, but go up the escalator one level and then go all the way around to the other exit where the open end of the basket.
Yeah,
there's popcorn maker.
That's
there.
where it's at.
And I'm telling you. So I'm going to send you. Well, can I do it tomorrow? You might be able to do it tomorrow. No, you can't.
I'm working pregame and postgame tomorrow.
So I can't go either. Maybe Sunday. What are you doing Sunday at noon? Sunday at 3.
Well, we have a basketball postgame show.
Yeah, but the game itself is at 3.
Men's basketball.
Yeah.
And then nothing.
So you haven't. What was the last time you went to a basketball game?
Pre-COVID. The last men's basketball game I went to was the last Creighton win.
Okay.
Oh, that's a lie. We lost. I went to a game later that year. So scratch that. But it was that season.
I think we need to send you, and then I need for you to go and get popcorn. And then from the very place where the popcorn is, they have soft serve ice cream. And yes.
Broadcaster's delight right there.
Right. Like you talk about hitting hitting it right on the nose. Bach. And the dude who runs it is a 93.7 The Ticket fan.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
So I'm sitting there chilling. And he goes, "Hey, DP, you want some popcorn?" I'm like, "Yeah, bro." Cool. He walks it over and he goes, "Hey, you want some ice cream?" And I'm like, "This is getting better." And I ate, I watched for 2 years, watched people get the big bags of popcorn and just go for it. And I'm like, that's really strange. Like that, you're eating a lot of popcorn.
Really like popcorn.
That's really a lot of popcorn. Until I had the popcorn. I'm just telling you to go. The next time you go to a game, just march yourself opposite in the basket. So opposite of the end that you come in, right?
Yeah.
Just go get on the escalator and walk all the way around to the opposite side. And there, right at behind the basket, he makes popcorn and he makes ice cream. And yes.
I got to try that because usually I stick to the Runs of Valentino's hot dog routine, one or the other. And I went as far as to get in line today, and I just thought, you know what, I'm kind of tiring of those options at this time, so I didn't eat anything.
Well, those are the options in Memorial Stadium, and PBA has got so many better options that the concessions at PBA are next level. I went there the first time and I walked up thinking I'd get a red dog
when it's open,
and I saw the options and I said, why would I get a hot dog when these are the options?
Well, they're still dealing with a bit of not too many workers, I believe. I had a little bit of trouble. I had a long line to get into there.
Yeah, there's a long line to get in, and there's a really long line to get anything in a concession stand. You can go up to the top level where there's fewer people, and you can get whatever you want. But then you got to march yourself all the way back down. I'm just telling you, go to a game, and Bach and I, have we figured out the right timing? Like, what time do we have to leave the game to get back here on time?
I did pretty good today. I left with the under 8 timeout.
Okay,
8 minutes left. Yeah.
Okay. And where do you park? Like in the arena, or do you park like somewhere else?
I parked down below, but behind the baseball stadium.
Okay.
And walk up the bridge. So.
Okay. Oh wow, you really did doing work.
Yeah.
you.
Before we get out here, I have like a little soapbox I want to get on.
Okay.
I've seen some people that are not a fan of the color commentator on BTN Plus, and as somebody who works closely with that man Buzzy Carruthers, I think you guys need to let go of your anger and your hate.
How could you not be a fan of Buzzy? I haven't seen that.
Yeah, people don't like Yakadonga. I'm like, what? You don't like fun things? These people probably hate soft serve ice cream. Buzzy's commentary is great, and like DP said, it gives you that little inside scoop because he is there every day. You're not going to get a more knowledgeable broadcaster on Nebraska basketball, and so I think we should be thankful that that's the guy we get on BTN Plus. So you could get the B team on BTN Plus, but instead we're getting the inside scoop guy, Buzzy Carruthers, for BTN
with
Plus.
one of the greatest voices of all time. I just don't understand any complaints.
Exactly.
Some people are just haters. That's how that is. All right, we'll lock it up, and then we'll head back because we're back here tomorrow. We'll bring you the pregame show 2.5 hours before kickoff, and then the postgame show that follows. We will see you guys in the morning.